Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today here, this is Sunday, and I'm getting the boat ready. This is the weekend prior to the Virginia Big Bass Tournament on Smith Mountain. And so getting ready to travel here again with the boat. So just doing some final prep work here before I wrap this thing up and call it a day basically. So just going to be a short one, and I just want to touch on batteries. So this is something that basically happened to me the first time that I did a long distance trip. This was back in 2018. So anyways, I had traveled with the batteries all hooked up, prepped, ready to go basically, and didn't think anything of it. And I'm sure a lot of you out there probably do the same thing. So what I came across though is that when I got down to where we were going, first of all, I had an automatic bilge pump that was running. And with all the vibration and everything with the highway driving and whatnot, something happened with the float switch, and it basically kept running. So it didn't melt down, which was thankful. I don't know when it happened. It could have happened, you know, halfway through the trip or whatever else. Who knows? But anyways, so this, you know, that got me thinking basically that this could be an issue. So even though that every time I had stopped, you know, the boat's shrink wrapped, right? So every time I stopped, I'd come to the back and listen for anything, but you don't hear nothing. So that leads me to believe that it happened in the last, you know, 300 or 400 kilometers of the trip basically. Anyways, it could have been worse. I mean, the bilge pump's fused, and you know, worst case scenario is that it could have melted down, overheated, and popped the fuse. You know, the bilge pump maybe could have caught fire, but I think the fuse would have popped prior to that anyway. So, but anyways, another thing though that I have had happen on shorter hauls is trim cylinders on outboard motors. And for whatever reason, whether they get moisture in there or the vibration or something happens in the contacts, you know, the last thing you want to have happen is either A, your trim cylinder comes up and takes, you know, the transom saver and swings all the way up and it keeps running essentially, or it's trying to come down, excuse me. And if you have a transom saver, you know, that could save the lower unit basically. But if you don't have a transom saver and you're not locked, you know, you run the risk of the motor coming all the way down and your skeg dragging on the highway. So something that I've done ever since now, and I do that, and I do this on all the boats, whoever travels with me basically, is after we have all our batteries charged, after we have everything checked out and everything is good to go, we take the leads off the batteries. So if any of you are traveling, if any of you are boaters, I would hope at the very least that you know how to disconnect and reconnect the battery properly and how to change fuses. If not, I would, you know, ask your local shop maybe to give you a 10-minute course on it or something like that. And I think here in the near future I'm going to do a video about summarizing boats anyways, so we'll have video on that. I just won't have it whenever you see this video right away. So anyways, everything's connected here right now except for the ground on my trolling motor because I had to swap out batteries here this morning, but that's another story. So what we're going to do here is on my deep cycles, I'm going to just pull off the ground cables. And I'm going to zap strap them together because I do run a 24-volt system, and that way the wires aren't flopping around. So just going to give you a quick view here. I know it's kind of hard to see on this angle. I'm going to try to get it down here just a little bit better so you can see what's going on, and that'll be it. Okay, so this is my battery setup here, and pretty straightforward. And we have our positives up here. Now again, we're hooked up 24 volt. I'll do a video on batteries down the road here, but all I'm going to do here right now is I'm going to pull the grounds off this battery and this battery over here. I'm gonna zap strap them up, to the cables here, just so that they can't bang around. And then that way, whenever I get down to Virginia, all I have to do is hook them back up. And then for my cranking battery over here, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna disconnect the positive, only because my ground is tucked in tight under there. A little bit hard to see there. But yeah, I'm just going to do the same over here, but I'm going to disconnect the positive. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back and show you. All right, and here we go. I'm going to let this focus. So as you're going to see right here, grounds are off, and I just tied it here around the battery strap. I left slack in here. That way it's easy to cut off. And this way your wires are all together, so you know which one goes to which battery, right? And the same done over here on this side. All the grounds, they're all just tied together and tied up on the cable, can't go anywhere. Now this one here is still on here. This is my battery cable that makes 24 volts, so it goes from negative on this side to positive over here. This isn't an issue, so that's just gonna stay on there. No harm's basically gonna come of that. And that's it on that one. We're gonna come over here. And there's my cranker. Actually, give me a second. I'll get a better angle. There we go, folks. Yeah, so I just took the positives off of here because they're easier to get at, because my ground is down over here and the ground nut's 1/2 inch. Everything else in the boat is 9/16. So it's just easier. And so they're all tied up. I put them around the battery strap here. This way nothing's gonna happen, right? So good and safe here now. There's no power to anything here in the boat. We got nothing we have to worry about. And yeah, so that's all I got for you here today, but to me this feels like a very important thing that you should look at doing. If you're traveling anywhere distance-wise, I'm gonna say like an hour or farther. Highway traveling, back road traveling, anything like that. Because of the vibration and whatever else, weird things can happen. So this is a safe bet. You don't have to worry about it. It's very straightforward. And being a boater, this is a very basic task, and all boaters, should know how their battery systems work. There are boats with on-off switches, and again, depending on how it's wired, because for whatever reason, nothing's ever wired the way that it should be. And I see it all the time with boats with on-off switches that you turn them off and things still work. So that's not really a safe bet unless you absolutely know that nothing works. And so just this simple task here, this could save you a trim motor, a lower unit, could save burning down your boat. There's just so many things, and it could save your electronics. If you have your electronics plugged in, you have your trolling motor plugged in, anything like that, when you have power that's running up there, there's a chance for something to happen. There's a chance for a wire to rub through and fray, and for the fuse not to pop, and you could fry, a $4,000 trolling motor. You could fry all your fish finder head units. There's just so many possibilities, and yes, everything should be fused, but again, things fail, and fuses could fail, not pop, and for the simple task of unhooking your battery and hooking it back up properly, it could save a lot of headache. So just a quick one. I wanted to get this one out here for you. And the only other thing that I can mention is that when you do go to hook these back up, make sure the nuts are tight. And something else I didn't mention is that after you take your leads off, take your nuts and tighten them down tight. If they're loose, they're going to vibrate off, you're going to lose them. Again, the second trip that we did together as a group, the guys that I was with, they didn't tighten down their nuts, and we were looking for nuts when we were trying to put the boats in the water. So that was fun as well. Luckily, I had spares in my boat, so, no big deal. But it can be a big deal, right? So anyways, so yeah, tighten down your nuts, and then whenever you get to where you're going, just take your wrench, loosen everything off, put your terminals back on, put the nuts back on, tighten it tight. Don't strip it, don't break the post off, but make sure they're tight, and all is well. So anyways, hope you're all having a great day. Thanks for watching the video. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I appreciate that in advance, and I think that's it for now. I don't know if I'll have another video out this week. The next time you guys see me, I'm hoping to have video footage of driving to Virginia this time. So hopefully I'll remember all this. I won't be as tired and groggy, and you know, we'll be back on the air probably very early Saturday morning. You might see me this week. I don't know yet. It's going to depend how the week goes. It's a short week. We got Easter coming up next weekend as well. So anyways, thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and talk to you after.